What's up, guys? Lucas Stills, Awesome Athletes, here with Kevin Gowdy. Kevin is from Southern California area, St. Louis Obispo.
Santa Barbara, yeah.
Santa Barbara, St. Louis Obispo.
Been kind of all over the past couple years. But.
Yeah, he bounced around. I ran into Kevin a couple years ago when I was down at Westmont, and he was doing some rehab coming off Tommy John. But Kevin was a second-round draft pick back in 16. And he passed up a scholarship to go to UCLA to go to the draft. So just one thing I want to talk about off the bat is, what was that decision process like if you are all the high school prospects out there right now that have scholarship offers to some pretty big schools and then get that call, $1 million signing bonus, whatever it might be. What kind of went into it for you and that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a pretty crazy time just with all the scouts coming out and kind of feeling that pressure to perform in front of scouts. Mm-hmm. And I was so back and forth on the decision. I remember at one point I was like, hey, I'm going to sign for sure. And then one point I was like, hey, I'm ready to tell teams hey, I'm going to go to college. And I just remember it being a crazy time. And it ended up working out in my favor. And I kind of got the money that I wanted and was just ready to go get it and sign and start my pro career.
I mean, obviously you can't really, I don't know if there really is a wrong choice there. You have two great options. UCLA, great program, great school.
Yeah,
could have spent 3 to 4 years there. Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand, being drafted in the second round is a pretty big deal, obviously. What was there any one big deciding factor in that, or was it just a accumulation of a bunch of different things, or?
I would say it kind of came down to the money. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I hope that doesn't come off as the wrong way, but I think it's one of those things you just can't really pass up that kind of money. And I think just signing gave me the opportunity just to focus so much more on baseball, and especially going through Tommy John, not having to worry about going to class and homework and studying, and really just being able to, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or whatever, just really focus on that rehab and just coming back a better pitcher.
Yeah. We have a couple guys here that are either coming out of high school or coming from a JUCO that are transferring to a four-year and have some pretty good offers, but will also probably get a call in the draft. And one of the guys I was talking with, he was like, based on my number, I'm kind of thinking about it as, what is 2 years or 4 years at the school that I'm going to?
Right.
What is that worth to me, numbers-wise? And then you can kind of use that to decide, okay, if I get this amount of money, maybe I'll consider signing, or maybe I'll pass up.
And that really can just simplify it, I think. I mean, you get that X amount of money, and you say, hey, if I get this or over, I'm going to sign, and if I don't, I'm going to college. And it's really just how you look at it, and you can really simplify it that way.
And if you know that going into it, it's easier than just to kind of get the call and be like, oh, wait, this much, that sounds good, but I don't really know.
Right, exactly.
So think about it beforehand, obviously.
Yeah. Definitely. Just kind of have a plan going into it, so you don't get blindsided.
Right. Sounds like it's working out for you.
Yeah.
You're loving it.
Having fun so far.
Yeah. So in the Phillies organization, we are, obviously spring training got cut short, but hopefully getting back up here pretty soon.
We're in the hiatus right now, but just piecing it together right now and trying to keep it going.
Yeah, and you're a Boris guy too,
Yeah.
So that's got to be, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, and what Boris did that I really loved that they did for me was just kind of explain the importance of college and how much development can be made in college. I mean, you see guys like Garrett Cole and Max Scherzer, all these guys who went to college, and you see just how much they developed and just how their education, obviously they don't need their education per se right now, but how much it could have helped them down the road.
Right.
And then you also see guys, like the Clayton Kershaws and the other guys like that who signed out of high school and had immediate success. So, I mean, I'd say it's different for everybody.
I mean, obviously there's different paths, and people have had success going straight out of high school and had success going to college. Another, or just a roadblock, I guess, that you've hit down the road in your career that a lot of people struggle with is the yips.
I have.
Now, was that when you were coming back from surgery?
Yeah, it was.
And obviously, I mean, I've experienced it in my life, and it's something that, basically you just can't throw strikes. Or if you're playing catch, you just can't throw the ball.
Yep.
You become super aware of where your arm is in space. You're trying to just kind of guide it in there.
Yeah, and you start taking advice from everybody, and everybody seems to have a cure to fix it. And you're at the point where you're so desperate, you'll just take any advice which messes you up even more, because then you start thinking more.
Overthinking and
just drive yourself into the ground trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I know that personally when I don't even, if you want to call it the yips, if you want to call it bad control, whatever you want to call it, when I was at kind of the worst of it the thing that seemed to help me the most was when I was playing catch. If I was talking to someone, if I was joking around, if I was like playing quick catch, hey, like acting like I'm Derek Jeter,
no doubt.
like just kind of going back to almost like playing wiffle ball in your backyard with your friends,
Right.
like that sort of mentality. Like you kind of become an athlete again. But I was just curious for people back at home that possibly have the yips or struggle commanding the ball, or maybe used to be able to control it pretty easily, and they're hitting a speed bump in that sense. What advice do you have for them? What kind of helped you kind of climb out of that hole? And
I mean, just to piggyback kind of what off you said, like it's one of those things, like you've been throwing a baseball since you were 4 or 5 years old, so you know how to do it, and you've been doing it for so long. So like having something to like kind of take your mind off it will help so much, just to, whether it be like you said, talking with friends, or like singing a song in your head or anything like that, just to kind of distract your mind from it. The Eagles, yeah, take it easy.
Take it easy.
We had I was on the podcast probably a couple months ago, and we were talking about this, and we had a mental skills coach that I ended up working with, and like she had these just super out there ideas that we were talking about. Like she had me like, I was playing catch with a softball and like singing a song out loud while I was throwing, and like just anything to kind of like take your mind off it, and like it ended up like almost immediately just unlocking for me, and like I was distracted and I was like, what are we doing out here? And I was like, I wonder if like the other guys are like seeing me and like thinking about like how dumb I look right now. And then all of a sudden I just like threw 4 fastballs like right into the catcher's chest, and I was like, wait a sec, it just like unlocked just like that, and like all of a sudden it was just there again, and like.
Well, I remember, so Jake McKinley, who's now pitching coordinator with the Brewers, and he used to coach at Jessup, and then he was at Menlo before that. We were having a conversation about this, and he was saying, if you want to mess anyone up doing anything, try to explain what they're doing while they're doing it. So next time you go and you're walking, try to explain how to walk while you're walking. You're like, okay, well, you lift your left leg at the time that your right arm and then you start saying that, you start thinking about it, and all of a sudden you become robotic.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Even a task that's so simple that you do every single day, if you start overthinking it, you can get in your own way.
Yeah.
So as you said, just kind of, if you're singing, if you're thinking about anything else, and then trying to kind of throw almost on autopilot, you'll probably throw way better.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things too, like they talk about like writing your signature, and like you can do it a million times, but the minute you think about it, it's just like, wait, what do I do again? Or just something like that, like it's such a simple daily task. Or even like I've been like playing some guitar lately, and like I can play guitar fine, and then when I'm trying to like teach someone, I'm like, wait, where do I go? Because like your mind just knows what to do, but the minute you start questioning it, it's just like you just kind of freeze a little bit.
Well, I know personally, I think we've all played with people growing up where my dad would always say, that kid is great if there's a bang bang play at first, right? Like he's playing third base short, and he's got to pick up the ball, throw it to first as fast as he can. Perfect. The second there's a one hopper at him, he looks up and he's got all day to throw, and he starts kind of crow hopping, kind of double clutching. All of a sudden, one hops or throws over because they have time to think about it.
Yep.
So that kind of just goes hand in hand with that. But yeah, just take your mind off it. You're an athlete, obviously. You played before. You can throw. That's why I kind of love like plow balls. Besides just the drills themselves, like you're able to not worry about where the ball's going.
Exactly.
And just kind of relax and throw, and you can kind of like start to feel like, oh wait, I feel athletic. I can throw normally.
Yeah.
And then it kind of helps transition to baseball.
But, yeah, no doubt.
Before we go, just want to kind of discuss your pitching repertoire. We got a baseball.
Sure.
Obviously, you got decent stuff. 2nd round draft pick. So what kind of pitches do you throw, and what grips you got, and any cues you have for the people at home?
Yeah, so I go 4-seam fastball, slider, and then kind of a split change. It's almost like a Fosh. The 4-seam is just pretty standard. I like to have kind of these like first knuckles like really right on the seam, just because I feel like it helps me like kind of just rip through the ball a little bit. And then slider, I'll go kind of pretty standard like slider grip, just a little like offset, if you can see that right there. And really just thinking about, for me, I have to think like a true 12-6 curveball when I throw my slider. Yeah, because when I try to think fastball or even think slider, I end up just staying behind it, and I kind of just cut the ball a little bit. So, I still have that vertical lift and stuff that I don't want in the slider.
Right.
So I'll really just grip it really hard and just try to throw a curveball, and it comes out as a slider for me. So one day, I'd like to start working on a curveball, but we'll have to figure some stuff out.
We got you.
And then the split change was actually a grip I developed, or I was taught up at Driveline this past year. And coming
Rob
back,
Hill teach it to you?
No, it was actually Bill.
Okay.
easel.
Okay.
And coming off of Tommy John, I had a pretty good changeup before, and then just since surgery, like I was really just throwing like a slow fastball. Like the ball would really just come out. It was just a true like traditional four-seam grip, and the ball would really just come out pretty much like just like a fastball. And so it was like pretty much a
pitch,
BP
basically,
fastball. Yeah, like 85 BP fastball. So we started working on this grip, and if you can see that right there, it's awesome because it kind of just takes like the thinking out of it and the feel out of it, and you can really just like
Some common themes here.
rip it.
From
Yeah,
everything.
don't think, just throw it hard.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it. And yeah, I mean, I like this grip because, like I said, you don't have to really like think about that like feel of a changeup.
Right.
You can kind of just like rip it, and the ball will kind of come out like with that side spin from that grip and
Kill some V break.
kill some vertical break and get that horizontal run and get the spin down. And
Sweet.
I've liked it so far.
Perfect. Well, Kevin, appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Thanks for coming on.